Hello mindful foodies, Inga from Health Origins here. So today a super exciting recipe. I'm going to be showing you how to make a vegan egg mayo sandwich, or filling if you like. So this is with no egg obviously and no mayo, so it's a healthy vegan egg mayo sandwich. Let's begin. So this is quite a strange recipe, but it's so delicious. So first we will need to make our tofu. So this is firm tofu. We're going to need to make this into our vegan egg. So I'm going to chop this into small pieces. So I've got 300 grams here, or you could use even 200 or 250, whatever your tofu is. So I've just got one block of firm organic tofu here, and I'm just gonna slice it into like 1/2 centimeter little slices here. You want to slice it kind of about 1/2 centimeter. You don't want to make it too thick because you want that lovely eggy marinade that we're going to be making to seep into your tofu. So we're going to be making a eggy bath, if you like. So we need 1 cup of water. It's better if it's slightly warm because our salt will dissolve much quicker. So you need some kind of like a container. Ideally you want to use maybe glass. This is plastic, so you could use plastic as well. All my glass ones are actually, you know, full of stuff, so I'm just using this one. And you need 1 tablespoon of kala namak, or sulfuric salt, or Indian salt it's sometimes called, and then 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So just adding that here, and that will create that wonderful eggy kind of taste and flavor in your tofu. So you want for the salt to completely dissolve here. Oh my goodness, it's so pungent and smells of eggs already. That sulfuric salt is magic to make anything taste eggy. Mark normally just mashes up avocado, sprinkles some of this salt on bread, or on the avocado on top of the bread, and it's really yummy, quick and easy eggy sandwich. But this one, you know, it kind of turns out as egg mayo because we're going to add 1 additional ingredient tomorrow when we are making it. Well, you could marinate this for an hour, at least an hour I would say, but it's best to do it overnight. So I'm going to leave it marinated overnight for that real eggy flavor. So now my salt has dissolved, and I'm going to add all the tofu pieces in here and make sure they are nicely all submerged. Yeah, so make sure all of the pieces are submerged like that. Nice. So now I'm gonna put the lid on, and I'm gonna pop this container into my fridge overnight, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna be making our egg mayo sandwiches. Good morning. So the tofu has been marinating in this eggy mixture marinade overnight. So let's open that up. Really eggy. So what we want to do, we want to take about 1/2 of the amount of this. So we're going to leave 1/2 to chop up into kind of egg whites, if you like, but 1/2 we're going to make it into the egg yolk type situation. So I'm going to just put 1/2 of these in a jug, tall jug, and I'm going to be using my immersion blender. By the way, what a devastating news, my Bamix, the normal Bamix we had for a while, actually the motor has just stopped, right? So it stopped working, so we had to buy a new one. This one is also Bamix Swiss line, but this one has Jamie Oliver's name on it. The only reason we bought that because it was cheaper than just without branded one. I don't know why. But anyway, so this is the same Swiss line type blender, and I'll link down below for you if you're interested. But this one has 10-year motor guarantee, or no, sorry, lifetime motor guarantee. So this one, if the motor gives up, then we'll get a replacement for free. So the other one had 10 years motor guarantee, I think, and it was just over, I think it was 11 years we had that, 11 or 12 years. So hopefully this one is not gonna give us that problem anytime soon, or if it does, then we can get a replacement. So anyway, so what I did was I put half of the amount, about half the amount of tofu pieces in here, and we're gonna add a couple more ingredients. So I'm gonna add about 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder in here for that golden yellow color. I'm gonna add the same kind of amount, maybe about an eighth of white pepper in here as well. And then what else I wanted? I want about 2-3 tablespoons of coconut cream. So this is the cream that settles at the top of the coconut milk can. So this will give that bit of creaminess, the fattiness to our yolk, if you like. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons. You could do 2-3. But also you could use cashew cream, because I used cream butter. Cashew butter you could use instead, or even sunflower butter instead if you're allergic to coconut or don't want to have coconut. So I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid here of that marinade liquid, maybe 1/4 cup or so. We'll see how much we need for this, so I'm just obviously going to keep that, and we might need to add a little bit more. So we want to blend this until it's smooth. So that's looking nice now, nice and creamy. Don't want to go too crazy to make it too smooth. I mean, because that's good enough. Because the egg mayo is never super smooth. It always has chunks and pieces in it. So I've added about 1/4 or 1/3 of a cup of this marinade into this. Oh my goodness, this is already tasting like the egg mayo, but the smell as well, it's so eggy. This marinade is incredible. So I'm gonna just pour this into my pot. So I've got my pot here on medium-low. I'm gonna pour this mixture in. And while this heats up, we're gonna prepare our remaining tofu pieces. So basically we wanna chop them into small kind of tiny pieces, so that as if it's like bits of egg white, if you like. So just gonna chop them smaller here. And then chop them again into smaller, tinier pieces. So now, see how the yellow color develops in here? It really develops that lovely golden color that we want in our yolk. So we're just gonna cook it for a couple of minutes. So it's cooked for about a couple of minutes. I'm switching it off. It doesn't need to cook very long at all. Just as soon as the color kind of develops, you maybe cook it for a minute or two, and that's good to go. So we need to cool this down a little bit. And I'm gonna just finish off chopping my tofu here. I'm actually gonna pour this yolk mixture, if you like, into my jug so it cools a bit quicker as well. So I've cooled the yolk mixture just enough so it's not hot, but it's just kind of lukewarm. And then I'm gonna be adding my chopped tofu pieces into it. And I've also chopped up one spring onion or scallion and maybe a teaspoon of parsley. That's optional. So I'm just going to add these in as well. And we already added pepper. In fact, pepper you could, white or black pepper, you could add just in this step as well. You didn't need to actually add it in the previous step. So yeah, and then I'm just going to mix that through now. Look at that. Doesn't that look like the traditional egg mayo to you? Yeah, there's no egg and there's no mayo in here, so it's vegan egg mayo. And another ingredient that I forgot to mention actually, to make it really taste like proper egg mayo, is to add some acidity, because obviously mayo, when you normally use it, has got some acidity in it. So you could either add about a teaspoon of white wine vinegar, or maybe a teaspoon or up to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. So I'm just gonna go white wine vinegar here. Gonna add a teaspoon here and give it a mix. So now to the taste testing. I've got a couple of pita breads that I've just slightly toasted, and I'm gonna add a good helping of this on there. Use whatever bread you love. I think traditionally it's made with white bread, although I would always opt for whole grain bread, but we don't seem to have kind of a whole grain wheat bread at the minute, so I'm just going to be using it with pitas, whole grain pitas. I've got some rye bread, that might work as well, so I've got some homemade rye bread. Nice good helping of the filling, and then I'm gonna just pop the pita top on. So let me give this a taste test. Yummy. That is really good. It is a tad on the salty side, so if you don't want it as salty, don't add as much of the brine. Replace it with a bit of extra water instead, because we didn't add any extra salt, just what was in the brine, but obviously that is quite salty brine. It is a little bit messy. I think pita is not particularly great for this type of kind of filling, I think, but yeah. This is a success. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and subscribe for more experiments and vegan oil-free recipes here on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And as always, remember, food is fuel, so be mindful of what you put in the body. Until next time.